Okay, this is Amicus Smokeless fire pits again, and I want to address one of the most common questions that I get regarding the size of the fire pit. People oftentimes ask me, what are the dimensions? What size wood will this fit? And what I've got on display here is an Amicus Original. It's made from a 55-gallon drum, and the Amicus Grab and Go, which is crafted from a 20-gallon drum. The primary differences, obviously, are the size and the way that the modular component separates. You should check out the Etsy shop. There'll be a link in the description and other YouTube videos to find out exactly how these two function and all the different features. But focus of today is firewood. What size firewood fits in the Amicus Original? What I have here is a pile of store-bought split hardwood, and the inside diameter of this is 20.5 inches inside, and it's 12 inches deep. So I've stacked this before. I've done this before. You grab a piece, lay it in here. We're going to put this in here log cabin style. Just to illustrate, most cordwood is somewhere between 16 and 18 inches long. That's the standard size for just about all types of split firewood for fire pits and even wood burners in your home. But 2 across here fits very nicely out to the sides, and you can log cabin stack these. Okay, so that's 4 pieces right there, and we're coming up on six nice pieces of the split hardwood, and as you can see, we're still below the rim. And I know that a lot of smokeless fire pit companies tell you that you have to keep the wood below the rim for the secondary combustion to work, or you won't get the smokeless feature that you're looking for. Now, I don't hesitate to go ahead and stack it above the rim. And you can even drop one down in the center like this. And you know, the reason that this is okay is because whenever the wood heats up and begins to off-gas, all the smoke escapes right here. You know, so as long as it's not outside the side of the fire pit like this, you're not going to have any problem with smoke, because there's going to be plenty of air and heat at the right stage, because you've got primary air fed at the base, secondary air comes in through these vortex slots, and any smoke that off gases here in the middle when the wood is aimed toward the center, that is going to combust because of atmospheric air, the stuff that's up above it. So you won't have any problem with the wood sticking out above the top of the fire pit and getting then a smoky fire. Okay, so I can easily fit 7 pieces of standard cordwood inside the Amicus Original. Now obviously, you're gonna have a hard time doing that with the grab and go. You know, it's just gonna be tougher. So the wood would have to be shorter. Now, you got a couple of options here. You can either trim this down to about half its length, but if you're not really into cutting wood, chopping wood, you got a couple of options. One of these sawdust bricks, these compressed sawdust bricks, you know, they fit very nicely down inside the grab and go. You could lay these up 3 side by side, stack a couple like this, even get it up above the rim like that, and you're fine, you know. And this is a great option if you don't really want to spend any time chopping wood, cutting wood, things like that. So let's take this out, and you can start your fire with this. But another option are these smoking chips or chunks that they sell at these home improvement stores, the DIY stores. You know, these aren't excessively large. Some are bigger than others, you know, but these are great just to have in a bag next to you that you can just toss in there, you know. Just throw them in, and especially after you get a fire going, it's really nice to have wood that is appropriately sized. You can just, from a distance, just give it a little bit of a toss, and you've got your fire is going to keep going and be well sustained. So there's your options. The inside diameter of this is 12 inches inside. That's 20.5 inches inside. This one's about 8 or 9 inches deep. That's 12 inches deep. So this is the grab and go. That's the Amicus Original. And I hope this answers everybody's questions regarding how big the inside is. It's really hard to visualize scale when you're just given a set of dimensions. This many inches in diameter, this many inches in depth. But when you can see the actual firewood in the fire pit, that's going to help you to get some sense of scale about how big this fire pit is and what size the wood, what size wood you can fit inside the pit. And scale matters, especially when it comes to smokeless fire pits. If you don't have a large enough fire in either one of these pits, it's not going to reach the appropriate temperature to burn efficiently. And if you put too much wood in a smokeless fire pit, you can overwhelm the secondary combustion, which is why I really think that the Amicus Original really shines. The leading competitor's 24-inch smokeless fire pit that retails for nearly $600 only has 7.5 inches of air being fed from underneath and 5.5 inches of air being fed through the secondary combustion ports. The Amicus Original has a total of 64 inches fed at the base of the fire from the side, so when ash and embers eventually accumulate, that doesn't block off the primary air. And the secondary air coming through the vortex slots totals 17 square inches. So if you've got smoke coming out of this fire, it's almost never the lack of air. It's almost always going to be a lack of sufficient temperature. And you just need to build the fire up gradually, get it up to that flash point temperature. And once you're up there, you're going to exceed it, and you'll very rarely ever fall below it, as long as you just keep steadily feeding the fire fuel through the night. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys in regard to size, how to choose whether you want an Amicus Original or a grab and go. Maybe you want both, one for home, one for travel. But this should really help for those people that are curious about how big it really is and how big a fire you can actually have in the Original and the grab and go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, links are going to be in the description for the Facebook group, the page, as well as the Etsy shop. So take some time to check those out and look at the other videos on the channel to get more information.